As a direct result of human error. He steeled himself and looked at my parents. Mr. and Mrs. Ingham, we believe the child you were given to raise as your own was not your biological child. We sat in silence as the man across from us explained it had only recently come to light, during an unfortunate circumstance where another woman had required blood testing. Her son had routine blood tests for his place of employment where the mother noticed an inconsistency. The blood group stated differed from that of his birth records. As it turned out, this child was born on the same morning of the same day in the same maternity ward as me. And in fact, we were the only two boys born on that day. Further investigation into my medical records from when I'd had my appendix removed as a young boy, in this very hospital, proved my blood type was a match to this other boy's birth records. Not mine. Further DNA testing would be required. Of course. My mother stared at him, unblinking. My father, on the other hand, processed the man's words for about 20 seconds before he erupted in accusations about responsibility and liability. The hospital's legal team would have, without doubt, known who they were meeting before we walked in, which probably explained their nervousness. As my father ranted and raved and Mr. Dovich answered the best he could, my mind swirled. Disjointed, foggy and disbelieving. My mind struggled to make sense of what I'd just learned. It was so absurd, yet somehow felt so real. Could it be true? I mean, I looked nothing like my parents. Sure, I had pale skin like my mother, and I was tall like my father, but that was where the similarities ended. My eyes were a dark, dark brown, different to my mother's light brown, my father's blue. My hair was darker. I had a different shaped face. I had a different build. Not only that, but I was nothing like my parents. Not in mannerisms, temperament, demeanour, or personality. My heart was thumping hard in my chest, and my mother silently wiped a tear from the corner of her eye. I'd never seen my mother cry. Ever. She normally had a look of profound disinterest on her face, and even now, for the very first time, I wasn't sure whether it was tears of sadness or heartbreak, loss or betrayal, or whatever it was you were supposed to feel under circumstances such as these. I'm pretty sure she cried because now it all made perfect sense. I wasn't their failure after all. Mr. Ingham, Philip Dovich addressed me. I wasn't even aware that my father had stopped talking. When I turned to look for him, I found him at the window with his phone pressed to his ear, no doubt already talking to Nigel, his attorney. Israel? In a daze, I turned back to the man speaking to me. Yes? Mr. Dovich gave me a soft, patient smile. Would you agree to further DNA testing? Did I want to know if my entire life had been a lie? Did I want to know that after all the years I'd disappointed my parents that they were finally off the hook? They didn't have a failure of a son, a not smart enough, not disciplined enough son. That after all these years they didn't really have a gay son. Did I want to find out if these people, who told me being gay was an embarrassing smear on the family name, might not be my parents after all? Did I really want to know? Without understanding what repercussions lay ahead, without any clue where this would lead me, personally, financially. Did I really want to know? I nodded without doubt. Yes. An hour later, after we all had buccal swabs and blood drawn, I was back in the waiting room of Mr. Dovich, unsure of what to do or where to go. I mean, what did one do after being told they'd possibly been switched at birth? After waiting no longer than 10 minutes, claiming he was too busy to wait a moment longer, my father left with his phone still pressed to his ear, his mouth an angry slit and his eyes focused and cold. Following him dutifully, my mother offered a quiet